All right, we are live. Once again, 2 days in a row. How about that? And give me a second here for the Amazon to kick on. Amazon to kick on, as they say. So today, I'm just going to get a couple of things set up here. I've only got about an hour and a half, so we're going to do a little unboxing, get some first impressions down. And then I'm going to work on a review tomorrow. That's going to be kind of like my all-day project tomorrow, because I'm pretty sure, so I've got like 2 calls this evening, but tomorrow, oh, it's so wonderful. My calendar is just totally just blank tomorrow. So I am going to be working on this tomorrow for the review. I might live stream it, I might not, we'll see what kind of mood I'm in. But give me 1 second. Just want to send a text message to a friend of mine here. Okay, so give me 1 more second here to get cooking and see who's joining us. So Martin Paolini is here. Hello, Martin. Good to see you. And we'll start saying hello to some folks. And what we're going to do is record an unboxing video. And I might do a little setup with this also, just to kind of show how the camera gets set up. And this is the new Wyze Cam version 3. So whoops. So this is like super inexpensive. So right now on Amazon, it's like 30 bucks for the camera. And what I've liked about the Wyze cameras, they've been out for a while. What I've liked about the Wyze cameras is that they're very inexpensive. You know, you don't have to go and do the subscription with them if you don't want to, because you can put an SD card in these things. There are some firmwares that you can put on, or a firmware that you can put on to connect it up with your home security system if you wanted to use something different. They support that. It's just a really good platform. And I've been collecting a lot of these Wyze devices. So I have their plugs, I've got light bulbs, I have the outdoor camera. Now, this is different than the outdoor camera you'll see listed, because the other outdoor camera, the one that's called the Wyze Outdoor, that one uses a battery that has to get charged. And this one will work outside. It's waterproof, but it needs to be plugged in all the time. So you have to run power out. And the power, though, is USB. So theoretically, you could, run it off a big battery or something like that. But the power adapter is indoor rated, and the camera is outdoor rated. And when we open it up, we will see exactly what's inside. So we will see what happens. I got friends checking in on the space thing. If you haven't been following my adventure here, I'm trying to go to space on that Inspiration 4 thing. And the odds are crazy good on this. Like, it's ridiculous. There's only about 150, 175 people that actually applied for it. I mean, seriously. So the odds are so good. They're better than the odds for the Inspiration 4 mission, for those that applied for the Prosperity seat, are better than they've ever been for a NASA astronaut slot. It's like 1 out of 175, maybe, if that. Isn't that crazy? Chris Berkey has the version 3 and loves it. And Joe Tyson is here as well. So why don't we start with the unboxing? I see we got a bunch of people watching on Amazon, so I want to get the process rolling here. So we're going to do the unboxing. And I'm going to shoot an unboxing video. And I'm going to put that one up tonight on the Extras channel. And it will also post on Amazon. And then tomorrow I'm going to work on a review all day. It'll probably take me all day to do it, just to get all the pieces covered. The hard part from my channel is that when I cover something like this, I have to assume that nobody has seen any of my other videos about Wyze cameras. So we've looked at now 3 or 4 different Wyze cameras, and I have to kind of cover the same things over and over again so people understand how it works. So that's kind of the routine here. Game Metal has never heard of this one. Yeah, so this one is the version 3. So you've probably, if you've heard of Wyze before, and if you haven't heard of Wyze before, by the way, they're not paying me for this. I like the product. They did send this to the channel free of charge, but I have been using I've bought a bunch of their cameras in addition to the ones that I've gotten as review units. But it's a great product. Very inexpensive. You don't have to subscribe to it. It works. And this is their latest one, so we'll open it up in a second. Cockroach on Amazon says, why you got old computers behind you? It's my set. And you either love the set or you hate the set. But I found, more often than not, that the audience that is attracted to my content are people that used all this stuff when they were younger. So all of the things back there, with the exception of the old Mac, are all my old things. So these are all things from my childhood back there. It's kind of fun. Paul Bakewell loves the Wyze stuff. Yeah, you know, there's nothing better, I think, for low-priced hardware than this stuff. It's really good. And I have the plugs, and you know, it all works with Google and the Amazon A-word and everything. So one of the cool things that I did around the holiday season is I had 4 Wyze plugs hooked up to all the different Christmas things around the yard and the house, and I could just issue like a single command to the Google thing and say like, hey, turn on the lights, the Christmas lights, and it would turn on the Christmas lights as a whole. Or I could direct it to a specific thing, like turn on the tree, turn on the upstairs tree, turn them all off. You know, it's cool. It all works. And actually, I use Wyze for my studio lights. So for example, check this out. If I hit my studio group here, are you watching? Ready? It just turns everything off, turns it back on again. Isn't that cool? And then you can have all this stuff kind of work together. So you can do rules within the Wyze app or whatever. And so when I come down here, I hit the button on the phone to turn the lights on, and then I turn the computer and the cameras on, and I start doing my thing. So, and they're just the least cost, and the quality's there. It's pretty good. So it is good stuff. And Chris Berkey here. So let me put up a few more comments, and then we're going to start unboxing because I gotta get on a call at 5:30. Loves the set. See that? Either love it or you hate it. That's how it works. Martin says he can't believe, yeah, that's what I mean. These things are super inexpensive. I think to some degree they're banking on people subscribing to some of their subscription services, but for a long time there was no subscription service at all, and they just kind of, they were, I would say this is what they're very good at. There's 2 things they're good at. One thing they're really good at is sourcing decent quality consumer electronics from overseas. They're very adept at that, and they're very compatible with Amazon in that way. The value add that they've brought to the mix is that they have very good software that runs on the cameras and through your app on your phone. And I think those 2 things combined make this a really effective product, because I'm not sure about this camera, but I know the version 2 camera and the version 1 camera from them were actually like a cheap Xiaomi camera you could buy in China, but they overlaid their own software onto it and made it much better. David Bound also likes the set. Awesome, see? Either love it or you hate it. Thank you for the kind words, though. It does set me apart. I look a lot different than everyone else because I don't have all that lighting and stuff. And hey, no complaints about what other people do. I will never criticize anyone's creative decisions. But my stuff looks different. That's the point, is to look different so that people remember you. And that's kind of what I've been doing with this. Joe says he does the exact same thing, I'm guessing, with the Christmas lights. Yep, I've got them all over the place. It's great. Actually, now the plugs are freed up because Christmas is over. And the hard part was I had to get some more. I had a hard time finding them because they keep selling out. Frank Cromer wants to try one of these with his Blue Iris setup. Yeah, they integrate pretty well because they work with most of the major, the major home hubs. They don't work with, the one thing they don't work with is Apple's HomeKit. That's the only knock against these, but they do work with Google, Amazon, and of course their own software. And then you've got IFTTT, which can be kind of some connective tissue. So that works pretty good. I think I don't know if the Amazon price on this is $29. It's $29.98 delivered with Prime, and then they do all these bundle deals and everything else. So it's really inexpensive. And when you get into it, like I said, what's cool about it is that you can run everything off of the SD cards, so you don't have to subscribe. You can just have the cards running. In fact, I have their pan and tilt camera over. It's like my camera that I use down here for security. It's pointed at the door. That one I've been running with the SD card for probably about a month or two. So when I boot the software up, you can see how that goes. Romeric is here. Hello again. Good to see you. Pravardon wants to know how I'm doing today. I am doing just fine. The weather is beautiful. I took my dog out for a nice walk. I had one of my 3 conference calls today outside, so that was nice. Ursula says on Amazon, I have the Wyze Cam pan to check in on my cat throughout the day. I love it. Bought one for my sister, and she loves it too. Yeah, the pan cam is also very reasonably priced. So it's a great thing to get put together there. I would say, this is another question about solar panels. I would say you probably could get it to work on a solar panel. You got to figure out some battery backup option for the evenings and then if it's cloudy out. But I'm pretty sure this is like 5 volts, 1 amp. So it's basic USB power for this one, as it was on the other ones. Fastlane's bought them for their house. Uses a 64 gig card. Yep, that's a great solution. And Aaron has 4 of these in the UK. Yeah, you can just buy a bunch of them. You can buy them by the caseload. They've actually got, I don't know if it's on Amazon at the moment or not, but they have a starter pack. I should look and see if it's on Amazon. Let me look for that real quick. They have a starter pack, which is a box of stuff. It's the best way to put it. Let me just look through here and see if it's back on Amazon. Yeah, it's called the Wyze Cam 1080p Indoor Starter Kit. And if you go on, so if you're watching on Amazon, I'm gonna make this live right now on the carousel. And if you're not on Amazon right now, click on the link and you'll see it kind of highlighted on there. And it's a box of cameras, sensors, and light bulbs and smart plugs. You basically get like everything you need to start making your home smarter. And it's a great deal. I don't know what they're charging for it because I think it might be out of stock at the moment. But that kit is a great way to get started because you get everything all at once. Chris M, I'll unbox this in a second here. Chris M uses Wyze V2 cams for security, primarily sitting in the windowsills and also as pet cams. They're fantastic. I just wish that they had a Roku or a Fire app. Do you think that they will make a TV app? Well, you know what you can try? I'm almost positive, because I have tested this before. I'm pretty sure that you can ask the A word, not on the Roku, but on the Fire TV devices. If you go to your Fire TV and ask the A word to show you a camera, it should be able to pull this up. Because I'm pretty sure that these work with Amazon in that way. So you may want to try that, and then you don't need the app. You have to request each camera individually, but it will pull those up. And I'll make note of that in the review as well. And David recommends having a battery backup on the solar panel. Yep, that's the best way to do it. Otherwise, you lose your camera in the evening, right? Prime wants to replace their Yi cameras. Yeah, I found these to be really good. I think once you get the, once you get the concept of how the Wyze stuff works and interoperates, it's like, wow, this is just a great solution. It's not going to rival some expensive DVR thing, but for simplicity and cost, I don't think there's anything better than this, without question. And yes, I am on Amazon Live. If you click the link in the video description, it'll take you right in. And if you want to follow me on Amazon Live, that would be great because you get notifications. Sometimes I do exclusive streams there. It's a great place to do it. And Aaron mentions that you could probably sideload. Yes, you probably could do that. Sideload onto the Fire Stick, totally. So if you wanted to have the app running on the Fire Stick, for sure. If you just want to look at the cameras, I think you could ask the A word, and the A word shall deliver. All right, so what we're going to do now, and then we'll be more conversational. I'm going to record my unboxing. And so we're going to make a video for my extras channel of me unboxing this. And then we'll probably do a little setup thing. And then when I'm done with that, I'll take some more questions. And then I got a jet in about probably about an hour or so. All right, so that's the plan. So let me get my recording set up here. All right, we are good. And you might see me repeating myself. You might see me doing a couple takes here because we are recording. And if you're watching on Amazon or YouTube and somebody asks, why am I seeing the same thing over again? Is something wrong? It's not. There's nothing wrong. I'm just replaying it just to make sure I'm happy with it. Diego Cruz, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. Amir Robinson, I wished... oh, good. Thank you. Yeah, if you click on that link, I will get affiliate credit for every one of these sales. So I appreciate that. Okay, so let's begin. Hit the record button here. 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, it's Lon.TV, and it's time for another unboxing. I got in a little while ago the Wyze Cam version 3. These are very inexpensive security cameras, and we've been covering this brand for a while here on the channel. And this got to me a couple of weeks ago, but they just started showing up on Amazon. So I thought I would do an unboxing today, and then later on this weekend or early next week, I will have a full review of all of this so you can see exactly how this new camera works. Now, this did come into the channel free of charge from Wyze. However, they are not paying for this unboxing, nor are they reviewing or approving it before it gets uploaded. And the big deal here with the version 3 camera is that it costs the same as the prior edition, but it is now waterproof. And you'll see here that it says it's indoor and outdoor. And this might be confusing because Wyze also has an outdoor camera. That outdoor-only camera is battery-powered. This one is not. This one has to be plugged into USB power all the time. But if you can work out some way to get power out to your outdoor area, this is weatherproof and will do better outside than their version 2 cameras did. There's a little guide here for getting set up with stuff, and then we'll pop the camera out. It looks a little bigger than it does in the picture, doesn't it? Not that that really matters. And here we go. The camera does have a little film over the lens here, which we will satisfyingly peel off. And there you go. So like the version 2 camera, it's got a nice little stand here. Pretty cool. And you can also mount these on a wall or something. There's a little mount here. It's got a nice rubber foot here at the bottom. So you do have to get it balanced correctly. And you can turn it if you want. This is not one of these pan-tilt cameras. They do have a pan-tilt camera that will do this with a motor that you can control remotely. But this one is strictly a manual placement. It does support two-way audio. It's got night vision, so you can see in the dark with it. We're going to test all of that for the full review that I'll be working on over the next couple of days. This is the power cable. Remember, this is USB, so you've got a micro USB connector here on the other side, and it's got a nice gaskety kind of plug insert here. So you'll probably want to keep the water out of this part here, even with a plug connected, but it does look like it's pretty well gasketed here in the back, and we'll see what else is in the box and how everything connects up. So this is the USB power cable. You would probably want to go with a longer cable if you have to run this inside, but it's flat, so you might be able to put it in through a window or something if you don't want to drill a hole in your house. And this cable connects up in a way that seals up pretty nicely around this gasket, but other cables may not. So I think you just want to get a good seal when you do connect something here to keep the water out of that connection there. So that's the cable. And we got a couple of other things in here. So they have a little mounting thing here for putting it on a wall or something. You got some sticky stuff here as well for sticking it to the wall. I think this is magnetic actually. So it might stick to the bottom. Yeah, it sticks to the, so this is a magnetic mount. So you could mount this on the wall somewhere and have it just stick to that. And the sticky stuff here could mount the magnet to the surface that you want to go on there. And then the power adapter is here. And you've got some mounting screws here as well. Now the power adapter is a 5-volt 1 amp adapter. So you don't need all that much amperage here. It's just standard USB 5 volts 1 amp. To get power out to the camera. So you could maybe work with a solar panel battery kind of concept also if you've got that ability. The power adapter though is not outdoor rated. This is an indoor power adapter. So you got to get that USB cable running from inside to outside if you're going to use this particular power adapter. Although I imagine you could probably find an outdoor rated USB power adapter somewhere to do all of that. And that's pretty much it. It's pretty easy to set up. Let me get this camera configured to my Wyze account, and then we'll be back soon with a full review to go through all the details. All right, that was a good take. So let me just check the recording on that. And take some questions here as well. Chris H. has some good tips here. Yeah, by the way, Frank Cromer on the RTSP. Yeah, I don't think the version 3 camera supports RTSP, but they do have an RTSP firmware for version 2, special firmware. It's official firmware that you can use to hook up to your other cameras. But I don't believe that firmware is available on this particular camera. And Chris here has a few comments or some ideas for getting things set up on different TV devices. But you can Chromecast if you want to do that. Flood of Sins is here. Hello. Michael Corcoran has any concerns about private? Yeah, I mean, this is something, and I've talked about this before. I mean, if you want a total assurance of privacy, then you definitely want to roll your own security solution. And there's a lot of good solutions out there that you can self-host somewhere. You know, there's always a little bit of a risk, and it's not, you know, it's not that Wyze is not able to keep things secure. It's really anybody. I mean, look at that thing that broke this week, that there's like this big startup that was doing cameras for Tesla and a lot of other manufacturers, and they were breached, and so those cameras suddenly became accessible to other places. So just by, you know, my own rules or my own things that I think about, the camera down here is the only camera inside the house that I have recording audio. Because down here, I'm always working. There's nothing, I mean, I'm streaming to the world right now, right? So there's really nothing that I'm concerned about down here. And this is an area that I want to be able to monitor when I'm not home. So, you know, that's my thing. So I think if I was hooking up cameras in my living space, I do have cameras outside, so I'm okay with outside cameras. But if I was doing cameras inside my living space, you know, with where my family is, I would probably opt to have my own self-hosted solution. That would be what I would do. Handquake is here from Las Vegas. Hope you are doing well. And what I'm going to do next here is I'm going to get my phone wired up to my NDI setup here. So I'm going to miss a couple of comments for a few minutes on the Amazon chat while I get this set up. But keep those chats coming. So we're going to start broadcasting here, and I'm going to add an NDI input to my vMix so you can see my phone. So now we've got that phone added here. Pretty cool, right? And now what I'm going to do is I have a preset virtual set so I can do like a couple of neat little 2-ups. So we're going to do, give me 1 second here to get this in place. Where did I keep that file? I think it's under my production items. Assets, Lon.TV. Where did I put those things? I have like, there, virtual sets, and I've got phone 2-up with full camera. So we're going to select that one. And what we're going to do here is we're going to start building a thing here. So the background we're going to have be my looping background here. And we're going to get Handquake out of there for a second. And then layer 1 is the phone. So we're going to select phone. And then layer 2, we're going to have be camera 2 here. And boom, look at that. Instant 2-up. Isn't that cool? And that's why I love vMix. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is go out to my NDI app, or my Wyze app real quick. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything on the Amazon side here. Abby says swag cameras. Yeah, you could almost give these away as swag, couldn't you? That's not a bad idea. So let me go over to my Wyze app here. And so if I put this on here, you'll see that when I hit my studio group lights, you ready? I can turn off my lights because I have them on plugs. So you can kind of group your plugs together if you want. And that's what I did with the studio group here. Then I can switch off individual lights if I jump into that setting. But what I'm going to do here is plug the camera in, and I think what I'll do is probably just start recording here, and we'll see what happens. All right, so, okay, here we go, 3, 2, 1. All right, now that we have the camera unboxed and ready to go, I'm going to plug its USB into a power source here and get the camera going. And what we'll do here is see how easy, let me start this again, because the USB cables never plug in the right way. All right, one more time, 3, 2, 1. All right, so now we've got the Wyze app loaded up on my phone, and I'm going to plug the camera in for the first time and get it some power. So we'll get that USB connected. And I think it might talk to me and give me instructions. We'll see how this all works. What we'll do, though, is we'll bring the phone into the mix here and have it configure the camera once it tells us what to do. And I think some of this is done over Bluetooth, but I'll know for sure here in a minute. Either that or we have to scan the barcode on the bottom of the camera. But let's see what happens. I'm going to click on the plus icon here. We're going to add a device. And we're going to go to cameras, and we'll go to Wyze Cam version 3. And we've got it plugged in, and once it's plugged in, it says the light will flash red shortly after, which it's doing. So I'll click Next. Pull the base away from your Wyze Cam and press Setup on your camera. So I guess it wants me to pull the base away. Okay, looks like, I guess just like that. Okay. And press Setup. Okay, there's a Setup button here under the, there we go.
Ready to connect.
Okay, so we've got that going. I'm going to say I heard that. And now what I need to do is give it the network that it's going to connect to. So I do need to configure that real quick. So bear with me for 1 second, and we'll get that network password typed in. Okay, so bear with me, folks. I'm just going to make note of the recording here. And give me 1 second. And I think it's going to be talking to me for a while here. So this is unboxing. And this is setup. Okay. And what I have to do is I've separated my 5 gigahertz from my 2.4 gigahertz network, so I just need to get it on the right one here. And I need to type in my Wi-Fi password.
Ready to connect.
Okay. All right. So we will, let's see where I left off my last clip here. Bear with me, folks.
Ready to connect.
Yes, I hear you. I know you want to connect. At least it's very persistent about wanting to connect and get its job done. That's always a good sign, right? So let's go to the end here. Okay, good. So now,
ready to connect.
okay. Oops. Whoa, what happened there? That's not what I wanted. Hang on a minute here. Let's go back here. There we go. Okay. So let me go back to camera 1. Okay, now we're good.
Ready to connect.
All right. 3, 2, 1. All right, so we've got now the Wi-Fi network and password that I want this to connect to. I have my Wi-Fi network split up into 2 different, let me start this again. 3, 2, 1. All right, so we've got the camera ready to go here. I've typed in the Wi-Fi network that I want it to connect with and the password for that Wi-Fi network. Now it is giving us a QR code. So I'm going to point that at the camera here. And we'll see if it can see it. Okay.
QR code scanned. Please wait.
All right, so I'm going to click Next on that. And now it's going to connect.
Find the specific network name.
Oh. So let's try that again. We got to fix that. Okay, give me a second here, folks. And I'm hoping that so we got to start this process over again. I think I typed in the network incorrectly, so give me 1 second here. And we will come back to this in 1 second. I also want to see what data is in that QR code. I just, I mean, I'm not using that password anywhere but in the house, but I'm just curious what it just showed everybody. So let's take a look at that real quick too. I have a little QR code barcode reader thing, so give me 1 second. I just want to see what that said. Well, the good news, it looks like it hashes it. So that's a good thing. Okay, so it's not giving you my password necessarily. Okay, so now I got to figure out what network it was not finding. Okay, so I have LSMO 2 gigahertz. All right, so let's try this again. And let's go to Wyze. I'll check them with the Wyze guys and see if... all right, so we're going to cancel setup. Let's try this again. And what I need to do now... Okay. So I think we're going to start over from scratch here. Okay, so we'll go back to my main screen here, and we will pick it up from the start. And this time I've got exact... Okay, so I didn't have a capital G. That's what it was. So let me try that again. All right, so we're going to pick it up from here. 3, 2, 1. All right, so we've got the camera now plugged in. We've got a red light blinking here, which is not a bad thing. That means it's ready to get set up. I'm going to click the plus button here on the app, and this is the Wyze app. I'm going to go to Add Device. We're going to go to Cameras, and then to Wyze Cam V3. And we've already plugged it in, so we're going to click on Next here. And there's a button, whoops, underneath the device here, a little setup button. We're going to push that once.
Ready to connect.
And we heard Ready to Connect. We're going to click Next. And then it's asking me for my Wi-Fi network. Now, at my house, I have 2 different Wi-Fi networks, and I want this one to go on a different network than what my phone is on. So I'm going to now type in the Wi-Fi network that I want it to connect to here, along with the Wi-Fi password. And once that is done, we can get this thing on the network. So let me type that password in, and I'll be right back. Okay. So that was a better take, I think. So we'll say 3, and that is setup part 1. And I'm just going to type in the password correctly now, or the network name correctly this time.
Ready to connect.
Okay. Excuse me. A little frog in my throat. Okay. And I just want to make sure I've got that in correctly. There we go. All right.
Ready to connect.
To answer Connor's question, yes, I'll talk about the SD card in just a second. It does support SD cards. So this will work a lot like the version 2 camera will. What it doesn't seem to support, though, are the Wyze sensors, right? Because those have a little USB thing. All right, so here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right, so I got that network name spelled out. You got to make sure you've got it exactly as it is on your network, which I think I now have, and I've got my password typed in. I'm going to click on Next, and what it's going to do now is give me a barcode, and what I'm going to do with this barcode is point it at the camera, and it should see that and beep, and now it's going to basically connect up to that Wi-Fi network based on the information that got passed through the barcode here. And we're just going to wait on that for a second.
Setup completed.
And that's it. And I can click on I heard setup completed. And now we're good to go. I'm just going to call this, maybe we'll call this living room camera, just for the heck of it right now. And I think we're ready to go. And we're already getting playback. And you can hear it looping my voice back. There is a firmware update, so we're going to do that update. Let me just turn the volume off on my phone here. So we're going to do that firmware update, and we're pretty much good to go. So what I'm going to do now is get this thing updated, and now I'm going to start working on my review. And in a few days, we're going to have a full review of this camera and all of its capabilities coming up on the channel, so you can get a good idea as to what you can do with this very low-priced security camera. That's going to do it for now. Until next time, this is Lon.TV. Thanks for watching. All right. That was a good take, I think. So let me add that to the mix here. That's just what I use for my unboxing videos, nothing fancy. And I think we're good. So we're going to do the update now. So now we're going to be a little more casual because now my video is done. And I'm going to have to do something talking about the Cam Plus features because they're really going to push that subscription now. So we're going to update the camera. Looks like they've had a couple of versions since this camera arrived. I've had this for a couple of weeks. I don't like to start reviewing things before people can buy them. So for a couple of reasons. One is that products change so much now that, it's something, yeah, by the way, Eric's Variety Channel, we had a whole big firmware update yesterday on yesterday's video. We did, didn't we? So let's let that update there. Sorry, I'm like scatterbrained today. I'm just curious what's in that QR code. Let's try a different one here. I'm just going to try a different one of these QR app reader things. This one seems like the best one on the iPhone store. Handquake, thank you for switching over to Amazon Live. Much appreciated. I think these things are available right now, as a matter of fact, so you can get on them. Now, the one thing this camera lacks is a USB port for those sensors that we've talked about. And I just realized also that I forgot to mention that it can work with an SD card. So we'll look at that in a second here. All right, give me 1 second. Let me just, oh shoot. No. Okay, so give me 1 second here. Yeah, it looks like they're hashing all of that barcode stuff, so I think we're okay there. I'll blur it out anyhow in the full video. Okay. So I'm going to keep the broadcast going here so you can see what this looks like when it's done doing its update. I think what I might do, let me see if what I can salvage here, because I also want to look at hang on a second. So you can get a good idea as to what you did. And now I'm going to start working on my review. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is go back over to the unboxing part, because I might be able to slip in the SD card component, because that's important for people to know that it does have the SD card slot. Let me look at the unboxing portion of the video that we did. 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, it's Lon.TV, and it's time for another unboxing. I got in a little while ago the Wyze Cam version 3. These are very inexpensive security cameras, and we've been covering this brand for a while here on the channel. And this got to me a couple of weeks ago, but they just started showing up on Amazon. So I thought I would do an unboxing today, and then later on this weekend or early next week, I will have a full review of all of this so you can see exactly how this new camera works. Now, this did come into the channel free of charge from Wyze. However, they are not paying for this unboxing, nor are they reviewing or approving it before it gets uploaded. And the big deal here with the version 3 camera is that it costs the same as the prior edition, but it is inside, but it's flat, so you might be able to put it in through, have a little mounting thing to the surface that you want to go on there. And then the power adapter is here. And inside to outside, if you're going to use this particular power adapter, although I imagine you could probably find an outdoor rated USB power adapter somewhere to do all of that. And that's pretty much it. It's pretty easy power adapter. So you got to get that USB cable running from inside to outside if you're going to use this particular power adapter. Okay, so I think what I can do here is cut it from there and say it does also, yeah, so we're just going to make a new ending to the unboxing part, and then we're in good shape. So let's do that real quick. A couple questions that came in from Amazon. Nick F. just pre-ordered the Alexa mini printer. Oh, I did that. I ordered that too. That'll be fun. Saw the Echo Clock and thought you might want to check it out for a future review. Yeah, send me I'll take a look at that, Nick, for sure, because that Echo Clock might be a good one. Did I miss that before? I must have missed that one. I wonder if that's a new product. Quake says it doesn't auto-detect. No, they rely on those barcodes to pass the information over. By the way, Nick, are you referring to the wall clock, or are you referring to the Echo Dot that has a digital clock built into it? Sally, why do you think they're using USB power instead of PoE? My guess is cost. I would imagine that cost is much less for the price is much less for them to have USB, just because I think it's probably smaller to implement than PoE, which is unfortunate because everyone runs PoE for outdoor security cameras these days. Okay, so we cut it there. All right, let me do it from here. 3, 2, 1. Now, like the prior generation cameras, this does support SD cards. They sent me one of their micro SD cards here, but you can pretty much use any brand. There are long endurance cards that might be a better fit for these, especially if you're going to be recording continuously. But the SD card will work no matter which one you choose. And you can stick that one in the SD card slot here. And this is pretty well gasketed. It's hard to get it open, but you can get that card in there once you get that gasket open. Believe me, it's there. We'll get that in for the full review. So you've got the SD card option. Again, it is weatherproof. One thing it does not appear to support, though, are the Wyze sensors. Those are their little contact sensors and the motion sensor that they offer, because those have a module that connects to the back of the version 2 and their pan cam, and there doesn't appear to be a USB port for those sensor modules with the version 3. So if you do want to get into the Wyze sensors, you would need one of those other cams to make it work. This one does not have a secondary USB port for that sensor controller. All right, so let's take a look now and see how we can set up this camera. We're going to go right through the setup process and see what it takes, so let's do that now. All right, that'll be a good way to fix that problem, even though there's a continuity break because it's already plugged in, but it's fine. It's an unboxing video. It doesn't have to be perfect. So we'll say 2A, setup conclusion, and I'll edit that part in later. And the Echo wall clock, that looks interesting. See timers at a glance, requires a compatible Echo device. So how does this work? Echo clock, easy to read, analog clock. Oh, digital LED display. Yeah, I'll check that out. Maybe I'll get one of those in. Why not? It's always good to just have neat stuff to look at, and people like these things. So we'll order one of those. Looks like I'll have it tomorrow if I order it right now. How about that? So let's do it. Give me another live stream at least, if nothing else, right? Okay, so we'll click that. Done. Okay. How about that? So easy to spend money. And how much fun is it for all of you? You can spend my money. Even better. All right, give me a second here to get myself recombobulated. And, oh, I got some viewer activity here. Some new memberships, Eric's Variety Channel, thank you. And Pravardhan, thank you also for becoming members on the channel, much appreciated. Got 2 new members. Okay, so we got the camera hooked up. Would you like to see what it looks like as far as the video quality? Let's take a look at that. So we'll go pull up the app, and we'll see what it looks like. The firmware is done, although it's got another firmware now. Let's see what this one is. Okay, so it had one firmware update, and now it's got another one. Although I think if you were, yes, it's going to go through the motions here. I think if you were to buy one of these, you'd have less firmware updates, because this was kind of like a pre-release camera that they sent me. It was all like in retail packaging, as you saw, but this was out before it was available for general release. So we'll let that do its update here. So that'll take another second or two. And we'll let that go through its updating. All right, almost there. Updating. And then we'll get a good feel of like the visual quality, because I can pull it up on the phone. I'm pretty sure it's a 1080p camera. And then tonight, I'll hook it up outside tonight and see how it works. Oops. So we'll just wait for that update to finish up here, and then we'll take a look at its visual quality. And then if you have anything specific you want me to look at, let me know, and we'll take a look at that. hear it clicking, so I think it's coming back up in 1 second. Give me 1 sec. Just give me 1 second. It's got to shoot off a quick email here. Okay. All right. That is done. Your upgrade went great. And now it is coming up. Now apparently there's a siren. Should we try that? Let's see. Here, I'll show you. Yeah, you see it there. Okay, so we'll let that come back up here. And then I also want to get that SD card installed too. Earned a badge. Looks like it's having a problem communicating there. Wonder if the camera's still rebooting. All right. I'll give it another second here. Can I turn it off? Yes, it does get turned off. So it's responding to that, but I'm not getting the stream from the camera. Some questions about how I bring in the iPhone. So I'm using an app from NewTek called NDIHX Capture. And it's a really slick app because it basically allows you to do a live screen capture from your iPhone for production purposes. So you can bring it in. I'm using vMix right now, but you could bring it into OBS, for example, as well. So it's really slick. So what I might do, though, is I might power the there we go. Now it's up. So that's the video. And let me go. Somebody said I can Chromecast this, right? So maybe we could try that too, because I do have a Chromecast here. What I could do in the meantime is just go full screen for you so you can get a feel for that. So I'll just pull it this way. And we'll pull off that. So yeah, so it's a bit compressed, right? It's not going to be perfect, but it's actually a lot of compression there. And that's not my phone. I'm looking at it on the phone. There's a lot of compression artifacts on this. So let me see if there is an adjustment for that. I'm guessing not. It is in HD mode. So that's probably about what you would expect out of this thing, to be honest. And we also have a siren. So should we try that? All right, you ready, everybody? I think you might want to turn your speakers down, okay? Okay. So that's a new feature, I think. I don't think that's on the other one. So you could trigger this too, because you could have a rule set up that the siren goes off if if an event of some kind occurs, right? So that could be something to look at. Yes, Programmer 7 wants to know, does it have motion control? Yes, so you can see like on screen right now, it's got that green thing, so it does do motion detection. If you subscribe to their service, there's also, it'll differentiate a person from a motion event. So you could have it do things based on a specific person or a person showing up in something versus just some random motion. And that works pretty nicely, actually, if you have that enabled. Here, I'll show you the motion settings here. detection settings. So you can set detection zones here too. So I could say, you know what, only show. Here, I'll show you the app here. Looks like I can't resize that zone thing. Let's see. Can I grab the edge there? I guess not. And you can set the sensitivity. So drag the corners of the box to set your motion detection zone. Oh, there we go. And it does sound and it does motion. Now the other one used to let you like tap on these little boxes. So I don't know if you can so before you could have like different boxes set up so that you could have it detect in this spot and this spot, but not in between. So it looks like it's a little less specific on the detection zone. So if I had the SD card installed right now, this is what you would do for that. And you could have it, what it'll do is loop the SD card. So if I had the card in there, your options would be that you could have it record continuously, and then when it gets to the end of the card's capacity, it begins to erase the older clips. And typically it stores the clips in, in kind of like 5-minute or 1-minute little clips. You get a bunch of files on the camera. It has a night vision color mode, which we will check out. And I'm going to play around tonight with these settings here because you've got a dusk mode with low light and then a dark mode with extremely low light. And I've got a great spot on the side of the house to test that with. You can decide to turn off the logo if you want. It'll record sound. You can turn off the status light if you don't want to see that light lit up there. And it's red right now because I am viewing the video. So if I go back out here, yeah, see it just turned blue? So if I turn it back on again, you can see it goes to red. So that's what you got there. As far as storage capacity, maximum capacity, I don't know. I think it is 32 gigabytes. I will double check that. The card they sent was a 32 gig card. So I will make a note on my notes for this video to figure out the max capacity there. So let's make a note of that real quick. Wyze camera V3. So I'll make a note of that. Let's see, I'm going to go pop into the Amazon chat real quick and see if other folks have other questions. Oh, that's a good question from Sally. If we went, wow, I missed a lot of Amazon things here. So Nick says if I titled the live stream "Updating Firmware Live," I would get 3-digit viewership. Probably. Matt Pellegrin wants me to say hi, so he knows it's live. It is live. It's not a rerun. In fact, it is against the rules on Amazon to do a rerun. Like everything you do on Amazon has to be live. So like they allow me to do my quick playbacks because we are recording live and that's part of the production flow, but that is required. So it is live. Michael wants to know, why are people buying this cam? Well, I'm assuming, what are people buying this cam for? I think why you would buy a camera like this would be because you are looking for something inexpensive that doesn't require a subscription. They have a subscription plan. There is some cloud storage as part of the deal, but it's not required. And so I have found, because I use these and I've bought these cameras, that if you're looking for something inexpensive and decent, that's what this is. It's a good camera. And what I like about this company is it reminds me a lot of my family's old business. We would import gloves and a lot of PPE kind of stuff actually before all this stuff happened. And you know, our philosophy was consistency. We're not going to be the best, but we're going to be consistent. And I think they've really kind of mastered that consistency. And they've brought in, you know, the software they have is very good. So I think that's why you might want to use that. David Fernandez, do you need a base station to operate the camera? That's a great question. No base station required. So this connects directly to your Wi-Fi. The app, you know, connects over the internet, and you're good to go there. What I do in my house is I do have, I've got to fix a few things with it, but I have a separate network. And one of the things that I often suggest people do, just for added security, if you want to be really careful, is I suggest that they connect their cameras to the guest network on their Wi-Fi, and then that way they're isolated from the rest of your network. Or you could set up a separate VPN or something, or a VLAN for that. But if you're looking for something simple, you can go from there. Prime, it is not iOS only. It will work on Android. There's an Android app and an iOS app. So Android or iOS. Maximata 2003, could you use this for face tracking? No. It will track people, but it doesn't move. So the camera is stationary. There's no motor on it. There is some tracking on the pan cam, which I have. And I can show you that. And Billy, yes, get some maple syrup from my brother up in Vermont. They just wrote a really nice, if you go on my Facebook group, I posted an article that a publication in Vermont just did about my brother and his business. It's really, really cool. And let me show you the pan cam, because I do have, David Fernandez is going to pick one up and test it out. Yeah, you can't go wrong with this price, right? Just give it a shot. It's kind of like a no-brainer. Because you're not really buying in, right? You don't have to invest in anything. You download the app, and like, look at all the stuff that I have now. I've got all this stuff hooked up. So this is the garage camera is the that's the Wyze outdoor camera. So this one I've got to bring in and charge it like for me right now, I'm charging it about every 2.5 months, 3 months. So I think I charged it like right around Christmas time, and I'm down to like 27% on that one. But I can click on it right now, and this is the outdoor camera, not the one we're looking at here. It has a firmware update also. I'll get to that one later. But I can just pull that one up anytime. And then it'll give me alerts. So I've been using this because when the UPS guy shows up, I never leave the house anymore. So when the UPS guy shows up, it pushes a notification out. And what's cool is the notifications you get from these will show up on your watch. So if so I have 2 neighbors behind me. So if the neighbors are driving by, it'll pick them up on the camera, and I get notified sometimes. But if the UPS guy is in the driveway, I can see, oh, UPS guy is here, and I can go and check on that. So that is pretty cool. And then I have, where is my pan cam? Oh, there it is. It looks like it's off at the moment. Let's see. I wonder if my wife disconnected the camera. The studio pan cam is over there. Let me go check and see if it's still up. Yeah, I haven't been hearing it move around. You know what? I must have unplugged it. That's what happened, because I was hooking up. That's right. I was working on my Apple computer over here. Long story. So when I was applying for that space thing, I am a digital pack rat, and I had a bunch of floppy disks from when I was a kid. And I remember shortly after the Challenger accident, I had written a letter. This was back in 1986. So I wrote the letter to President Reagan asking to be the first kid in space. And I could have sworn that I had it on one of those disks. And I went through all of them with my old Apple IIe over there just to see. And I've imaged the disks also, but I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss one. So I had set up the Apple computer over there, and I had unplugged the camera because I set the pan cam, and if you look up the Wyze pan cam, you'll see how it works. It moves, it swivels on its base, and when I was over there working on the computer, it was like constantly moving and finding me. So I turned it off when I was looking for that letter. By the way, I did not find the letter, but what I did find, here you go, now the camera's up. What I did find was a letter to my 4th grade teacher, who I'm still in contact with. So with this camera, so this is the Wyze Cam Pan, and once it comes, yeah, so I can control it, and I can do it anywhere in the world. There's no zoom on this though, it's just up and down. And there's the old Apple I was working on. Isn't that cool? And my place here is a disaster, I know that. And I can pan up to the ceiling here, and I can go. It almost spins, it's like an owl, it kind of spins all the way around. And you can actually set it to keep an eye on things, like if it detects somebody. So its home position is kind of right here. And if somebody were to walk in the door, it would start following them around. And then, because I have an SD card in this camera, I can go in and look at I think it's, let's see, where is it? View playback, yeah. So I can go into here, and I can kind of scrub backward in time to where, so I haven't had it plugged in a while, but let me go click on my calendar here. So let's go back to like February 25th, because it's recording continuously. Maybe it isn't. Maybe I didn't set it to do that. Maybe that's the problem. But you can record it continuously. When I set this one up, I'll have it record all the time. And you can kind of jump back in time if you have the SD card. And so what you can do with it is you can have a motion event go up to their cloud. It'll record a short burst of video from that. But if you have the SD card installed, it will be continuously recording, and you can basically just kind of browse to that anytime you want. And yes, that is, and right, Billy, that is absolutely right. This camera is waterproof. That is correct. Chris K, can you attach this to a Synology NAS? No. So there is a custom firmware, or actually it's a special firmware for the version 2 camera. That one you can connect to a Synology NAS. But this one, which is the version 3, I do not believe is compatible with that firmware, because they had to remove some features on the other camera. But if you go, the V2 cameras are still available. So if you wanted to use something like this with your Synology NAS or something else that supports RTSP, this supports it. And what I'm doing now is inserting the SD card so we can get a feel for that. Let's get that plugged in there. There we go. All right. And then this gasket is like super hard to get off, which is good because you want a nice tight seal there. Okay, so now it has detected the presence of an SD card. And let's go over to the app here and see what we can do with it now. So we're going to click on living room camera. I'm calling this living room camera, by the way. And let's go into settings. And we're going to go to manage SD card. So I'm going to set it here to record. So see how it's set now? It is set to record continuous to the SD card, which means that as of this moment, it is constantly recording. And so it'll send events to the cloud, but you'll have the full context on the card. And I'm pretty sure the card is formatted already, so I think we're good there. And so yeah, I'll leave it plugged in and we'll see what we get out of it. Mark Smith said, borrowed a Chromebook from the library and it runs YouTube in restricted mode. My live video was blocked. Really? Huh. Is that YouTube or is that the software they have there? I wonder what it didn't like. It is Amazon compatible. It will work with that. Oh, this is an interesting question. Could it be used in an aquarium? And I would say the answer is yes. I don't see why it wouldn't work. It is actually, hang on, let's dive into the claim. The claim here is IP65, so don't quote me on this just yet. Okay, so yeah, it's probably not going to be good for immersion. It is an IP65, so I don't think it's rated for being underwater. It's more like spray. So no, I would not put it in an aquarium. But Billy says, would you put your phone in there? Actually, I think the iPhone, I could get away with that because I think it is rated for a shallow amount of water, but I would not do that for sure. Too much money. Mike B is here. Wyze Cam V3 RTB is not available yet, and we do not have an estimate for when it will be ready. But, oh, it is? Okay, good. I don't know. Mike, I don't know if you're with Wyze, but that's great to hear. So it's not RTSP yet, but it will be if Mike is indeed with the company. And they, what was I going to say? The camera, the other camera, the V2, is compatible. So you could download their firmware for that one and be able to do that. And now that we've had some recording on here, let's see if we can view some of the playback. Yeah, so if you look here, let me get the comment off here. If you look here, you can see that it's now got like this little green thing here. Now we have only been recording for about 5 minutes on the camera, but what you'll see is like a little green area there. And so if I scrub over, it's basically going to record every minute, every second of what it sees continuously onto the micro SD card. And it might be, it's not with Wyze, but just saw it on the website. Oh, good. Thank you for checking for that. I appreciate it. So that's how that works. All right. I'm just seeing a few other things here. Yeah, I've got a whole playlist, and you can find this on Amazon also. If you go to a lot of the Wyze product listings, you'll see me there. By the way, I got to be out of here in about 5 or 10 minutes or so. I got somebody stopping by to pick up something. I got a call at 5:30. I got another call at 7. I got to get ready for the call at 7. Gabriel is here on Amazon. Nick wants to know, is that pan cam the Jake cam? Yeah, if Jake comes in the door, I could see him coming in that way. Jake hasn't been here, though, because of the pandemic. We haven't been in person too much. The most time we spent with each other in a year was when we went up to Vermont for my brother's Starlink installation. Sally bought the Wyze outdoor camera, and it works great. And she wants to know what I think is going on with the artifacts. I think the camera sensor on this one is just not as good as the outdoor camera. I think that's why we're seeing some artifacts on there. I'll poke around with it a little bit. It is in HD mode, so I'll also check the SD card and see if the video that it records is a little better. Nick wants to know, do I get a production credit for the wall clock stream video? Just a regular. You know, I'll try. Let me make a note of that, Nick. I'll make a note on that. I'll try my best to remember. And if you pop in and I'm streaming about the clock, you can remind me of it. Amazon wall clock. So Nick F, source of clock. I'm just putting it in my notes for when I start putting my notes together on the product. Okay. All right. Let's see what else is what else is on your mind, everybody. Joey M, does it record audio? Yes, it does. It records audio, and it's two-way audio too. So what I could do with it, let's go back to the camera here. Let's go to the live stream. Yeah. So, hey. Hear that? Hey. So it's doing a little feedback there, but I could say, get off my yard. Oh, hang on. Get off my yard. Get off my yard. So you've got that. That's about as loud as it gets, but we'll demo that too, so you can have a two-way conversation. Ken Driggers, any news on the space thing? Not yet. Not yet. I thought they had made a decision earlier than they did. So initially, it sounded like this is for the Inspiration 4 thing that I applied for. Initially, it was appearing as though, because the guy that's doing it had given an interview, and he said that this was last week, that by the weekend they would be doing medical checks on everybody that had been selected. And then it looked as though the judges were actually making their pick on Monday of this week. So I don't think I know they haven't announced the winner yet. I don't think I won because I haven't heard anything. I would imagine maybe they would, if I was in a finalist, they would want to know more about me. But we'll see. I mean, the odds are really good, so we'll keep an eye on it. Banani wants to know, do I have to use the Wyze app for this camera? For this camera, yes. You do have to use the Wyze app for this camera. However, the camera, the version 2 camera will work if you install the custom firmware that they have. will work with any security system. But this one at the moment only works with the Wyze app. But that will change in the future. So that is that. All right. Well, everybody, I think I am going to wrap this up for now, but I will be back again in the near future. And I appreciate everybody stopping in to see what this is all about. I think it's going to be a fun little camera. Yeah, so tonight what I'm going to do with it, oh, Michael, first time watching Amazon Live. Cool. Yeah, I think it's a fun platform. And it's great for me because I'm so product focused. This is Michael's comment here. I'm so product focused that I really like the synergy with Amazon. And it seems to work that people on Amazon like to watch me just sit here and tinker with stuff. So that works pretty nicely. Because when I first started doing it, it's like I don't want to become like a home shopping club host. I want to poke around with this stuff and kind of give people a window into my workflow. And so I think this is kind of fun. So that's why I like doing the Amazon stuff. All right, what else we got here? Can I get it to do the whistle? Yes, we'll do the whistle one more time. So there is a whistle option here. Let me switch back over. So if I go to more and hit the siren, so it does that. I mean, it's not very loud, but I think if somebody was breaking in your house and that's what they heard, they'd be like, oh my gosh, an alarm went off. So that could work. All right. Okay, everybody. I've got to run because I got to get my landscaper's coming for a check for the plowing, snow plow. Hopefully I don't need any more of that. I got to get on a call at 5:30, and then I've got to get on another call at 7, and I have to get prepared for the 7 o'clock call. So I got like a bunch of stuff on the docket here. So I am going to call it a night for now, and I'm going to do some work on this. So this is going to be I'm going to be shooting a review of this tomorrow. I may or may not live stream that shoot, but we'll see what we're going to do there. Take a couple last questions here. This is a good question to kind of end on. Why would you want this over V2? The big difference is that this is weatherproof and the V2 is not. However, it requires a plug, USB connection, but it is weatherproof. So if you wanted something that you could put outside, provided you can get the USB cable snaked back into your house, this is going to be better. I think, though, the visual quality is the same. So a lot of the feature set is similar here, but the weatherproofing is unique to this one. And I think the siren is a new feature. So I'll go through and make sure I get all the differences down. But weatherproofing, outdoor usage is really the big difference here. All right, everybody. I got to run. And as my friend here says, smash that like button. And if you're on Amazon, smash the follow button. That'd be great to get some more follows on Amazon. And go from there. Thank you, Michael, for the follow. A Dolphin wants to know, does this double as a webcam? This one, no. But they did release a firmware for the V2 camera that does make it a webcam, but it disables a lot of the security features. So it's a kind of a mixed bag. So the short answer is no. It's not going to double as a webcam. The good news is you can buy webcams again. So I think that need is a little less important. David Fernandez, does it come with an SD card? It does not. You got to buy that separate. But for $30, not bad for the camera itself. All right, I got a jet, folks, but I will be back with a full review. If there are questions that you would like me to answer in the review, if you want, send me an email, Lon.TV. You can't forget that, Lon@Lon.TV. Send me a list of questions that I didn't answer during the stream or that you still have, and I'll incorporate those into the review. Because anything that I have that I can answer in the review makes the review better. So that is what you want to do there. And we'll end on this question from Patrick Chang. Am I late? Yes, you are. But you can always rewind if you want to do that. Okay, everybody. That is going to do it for me. I got to go get a bunch of stuff done now. So I will talk to you all very soon, and I appreciate you all stopping in to watch me play around with this thing a little bit. And I'll catch you in a little bit. Bye-bye.